Time, we will move forward with our District 2 Commissioner Candidate Forum. Again, thank you so much for being with us this evening to continue this conversation and hear from our candidates for this year's election. Once again, my name is Barbara Garza. I'm the President and CEO for the Weslaco Chamber of Commerce. We want to welcome all of you here to the Visitor Center to learn more again about our candidates here in Weslaco. It is the duty of the Weslaco Chamber to support our business members and community at large by offering events and services such as this to inform our community of the platforms of the candidates here in this community of Weslaco. So once again, thank you so much for coming out here to learn more. Most importantly, we want to remind you that it's so critical that as you learn about your candidates, you remember that it's so important that we vote. Make your voice heard, and we can do that by going out and exercising those rights at the polls. And for your reference, this building it serves as a polling site, so you can actually vote here at the Visitors and Event Center. And I will give you more information before we close in regards to those dates. Just to give you some information in regards to how the forum runs, I know many of you were here for the first one, but I will mention it. Each candidate will receive 2 minutes for an opening statement and 2 minutes for a closing statement. We'll then rotate questions between the candidates, and that'll be run by our moderator, Ms. Cynthia Benavides. So we'll get started in just a moment. I do want to remind our audience that, again, we're so grateful for all of you to be here with us today to learn about our candidates. We do ask that and remind you that there is no audience participation today. It is a forum and a presentation and question and answer today. However, I do want to remind you that we ask for no cheering, no clapping or booing. And again, if we see this, we do have a no tolerance policy, and we'll ask you to leave. At this time, we do want to make sure that we're able to give the candidates our full attention and hear from them in the questions that we have today. We do allow to clap after their opening statements, but in between questions, we'll ask that we hold for applause. And again, this evening, our forum is being moderated by Ms. Cynthia Benavides, attorney at law with Benavides Law Firm and a longtime chamber member for the Weslaco Chamber of Commerce. So at this time, to get started with our Commissioner Forum for District 2, I'd like to invite Ms. Cynthia Benavides to get us started.
Thank you, Barbara. And for those of you who weren't here at the first forum, for our mayoral candidates, again, my name is Cindy Benavides, and I own Benavides Law Firm here in Weslaco, Texas. I've been a practicing attorney for over 16 years, and I practice in the areas of real estate, estate planning, probate, business law, and personal injury. My office also houses Edwards Abstract here in Weslaco, Texas, so we invite you to come and close with us any of your real estate transactions. I have social media, and you're welcome and you're invited to please follow my social media on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok to learn more. Again, I want to thank the Chamber for this great event and allowing our local community to be able to meet our candidates. So without further ado, I'm going to just do some quick housekeeping matters to remind the candidates that you will each be given a 2-minute opportunity to introduce yourself. We have a timer up front, and she'll be counting down for you. So we're going to start with candidate Pete Garcia, Jr. Your 2-minute opening, please.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Pete Garcia, Jr. I'm a Weslaco High grad back in '71. I attended Pan American University and majored in community services, serving the community. Way back in the late '70s, I was the Boys and Girls Club director all the way to the mid-'80s. And then after the mid-'80s, I was the Parks and Recreation director for 22 years, plus 8 years public works director. With the Weslaco citizens' support, I want to continue serving the city of Weslaco as a commissioner, District 2. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. And Ms. Lopez, if you would please with your opening remarks.
Good evening to everyone. Thank you for being here tonight, and also good evening to the ones that are watching through live stream. First of all, I'd like to thank God for blessing us and allowing us to be here tonight. I am the youngest of 5 children. I am a lifelong resident of Weslaco. I'm also a Weslaco ISD product, attended UTRGV, and after attending UTRGV, or while attending UTRGV, I worked at a CPA firm for 17 years. After certain management changes in the CPA firm, I went to work with a construction company that is a multi-million-dollar company. We employ over 275 employees. I have a cumulative experience of 42 years of accounting, and that is what I bring to the table as city commissioner. But I'd also like to thank my family, my friends, and my supporters for being here tonight. Benita, Annette, Sabrina, my family, my immediate family, my brother Mo, my nephew Michael, my sister-in-law Cynthia, Monica, and then also my niece, Belle Lopez, which, you know, running for office, it takes a village, it takes a whole community, the whole citizens of Weslaco. And I want to thank everyone for giving me the opportunity to be your city commissioner for these last 8 years, and I wish to continue serving in that capacity. So thank you and God bless.
Thank you both for sharing your opening statements, and I will begin with the first question under the category of leadership and vision. Starting with you, Mr. Garcia, share with us your vision and top 2 priorities for Weslaco and how you plan to tackle them during your term if elected.
I am very glad you asked me that question. I want to thank, at this moment, Mayor Joe Sanchez. Mayor Joe Sanchez was the mayor back in the 70s, and then he came back again in the 2000s. The reason I'm thanking the Mayor Sanchez, because he took the leadership, the lead in designating City of Weslaco as the All-America City. I was part of that designation. We need to bring that back. We need to bring it back. How do we bring it back? We need to focus on some of the issues that we have, and we need to take care of those issues. Take care of them.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. Ms. Lopez, if you would, share with us your vision and top 2 priorities for Weslaco and how you plan to tackle them during your term.
My vision continues to be the same as it was, is still bringing honesty and integrity to the City Hall, within the commission and the mayor's office, and throughout the whole administration. And also would like to continue working with the drainage issues that we have, the streets. You know, that is an ongoing job that needs to be looked at on a daily basis. And the other thing that we have is that is a vision for myself, is to see the completion of the expansion of our public library and also the municipal pool. That is something that unfortunately got dilapidated due to maybe funding or just wear and tear of the pool, but it's a sad story to see that the city of Weslaco does not have a municipal pool. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lopez. Mr. Garcia, what are Weslaco's major strengths and what are Weslaco's major weaknesses? Strengths and weaknesses, Mr. Garcia.
Challenges. Major strength, location. I continue to say throughout my years with not only Boys Club, Parks and Rec, the location, we need to take advantage of the city location. We need to start hosting. We used to be the envy of the Mid-Valley. The Mid-Valley here, everybody would come and visit our parks, again, our swimming pool, event center. My concern is now it's going to take a lot more money, taxpayers' money, to build a swimming pool, an event center. Our parks being neglected. We need to upgrade our parks. That is going to be the challenge. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. To you, Ms. Lopez.
Our major strength is our location. We are centrally located here in the valley. We have an airport 25 miles away on the east, same distance on the west. And we also have our own municipal airport that we have corporate jets coming in. So we are a diamond in the rough that we just need to keep on giving it some shine to that diamond, and we will eventually keep on growing the way we have been going these last 10 years. And one of some of the challenges, of course, is the lack of attractions for our families. Yes, the lack of a swimming pool. The parks, they of course need work, but that was lack of or failure of maintaining. I mean, where does that fall? What responsibility does that fall under? I mean, was it our Parks Department? Was it our Public Works Department? But it's something that needed to be addressed and worked on, and that's what we want to continue, and that's what we are continuing to do.
Thank you, Ms. Lopez. Mr. Garcia, Mr. Garcia, can you explain the primary responsibilities of a city commissioner and how you plan to fulfill them if elected?
I truly believe that our primary responsibility of a city commissioner is to be the voice of our constituents. We need to understand and not forget that they're the ones that put us up here. They're our voice, and we are responsible to follow up any concerns that they have. When I was working with Public Works, even Parks and Recreation, they call me, and I will follow up. I'm old school. I didn't email them back. I went to go visit the household. That's what we need to do. We need to bring that back, old school back, and visit our constituents and follow up and respond. They need to be called, and that's one of their concerns sometimes, that they don't get called back. They don't call them back. So I'm here to be their voice as a city director that just retired. I will be there for them. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. To you, Ms. Lopez.
Well, the city commissioner, we are the voice of our constituents. And I am proud to say that from day one, when I did run for office back in 2013 and then again in 2015, I vowed that I was going to be a city commissioner, although only district constituents would get to vote for me. I was always, when I would go to the city commission meetings, one thing that I would hate is that I would approach a city commissioner, and the first thing that they would ask is, where do you live? They already knew the district lines, and to me, as I'm a taxpayer, and it shouldn't matter. All our tax dollars go into one fund balance, and we all should be addressed equally. And I do plan, or I actually do visit our constituents. I do talk to them on the phone, and because some of them are not, do not have email, do not have Facebook, I do call them back, and I do go knock on doors or whenever they reach out to me. So I continue to, I will continue to be doing what I am doing right now, is being accessible to everyone, not just my district.
Thank you very much, Ms. Lopez. Mr. Garcia, what is your approach to managing the city budget and ensuring fiscal responsibility?
First of all, like I said, I've been a city director, department director throughout my life. And we need to, as a city commissioner, I would request monthly reports from our city budget team every month. Now, again, as a city department director, I know that we get allocated so much funding. We have to work with a budget. So we want to make sure that director works within the budget. Or if he's requested, he needs to justify any equipment, additional equipment he needs to purchase. But again, I think it's important that we work very closely together with our finance team to make their financial reports every month. And we have to monitor the budget. My concern is living beyond your income. It's very important. You cannot spend more than what we're bringing in. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And Ms. Lopez.
Okay, as far as our financial budget and financial standing, my responsibility, what I feel, is working closely with the city manager, city directors, and looking at the budget, see what the wants and needs are. There's a lot of things that are needed, but or a lot of things that are wanted, a lot of things that are wanted or they have on the wish list, but then what is needed? What are the priorities? It's like I get people that say, well, Letty, I need the street paved. And I look at it, the street, and yes, it is in dire need. But then I tell the citizen, I said, we have to address the high traffic areas. So we have to prioritize. And that's what the city manager and the mayor and the city commission does, along with our directors on a daily basis, but maybe on a routine basis. We do get memos on a weekly basis, and we address our issues that way. And that's the way, I feel that is most efficient.
Thank you very much. On the topic of economic development, Mr. Garcia, do you believe that we have a well-prepared workforce to attract large employers to this region?
As again, department head, throughout my life, I know we have challenges. We have challenges, and the reason I'm saying that, because we need to start hiring skilled personnel, and we have in the past. But our challenge is to keep this personnel. We're losing this personnel to our surrounding cities. Donna, Mercedes. And so we need to, in order to keep them, we need to be competitive as far as the salary. And my concern again, 20 years ago when I was in parks, I had 20 park workers. Now we have about 10 or 12. So I think we need to improve and be prepared for our workforce, all the businesses. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. Ms. Lopez.
Okay, I do believe that we do have a well-prepared workforce as far as citywide here for the city of Weslaco as a whole. And yes, we work continuously with the STC, UTRGV, and other trade schools in preparing the students. You know, we have programs in our high school that they can graduate from high school and have a trade already. They can have concurrent enrollment with universities. It saves the parents' monies and tuition. And STC also has, we've worked closely with the STC in getting our employees trained. And not only our employees, but anyone seeking assistance. You know, there's always working programs within the city, the chamber, the EDC. We have a working relationship with all these higher education institutions. And that's an important thing, is to have an open relationship with all these educational institutions so that we can move Weslaco forward and keep Weslaco growing the way it has been growing these last 10 years.
Thank you very much, Ms. Lopez. Mr. Garcia, on the topic of infrastructure and public services and safety, how would you go about addressing the drainage problems that we have in Weslaco and the Mid-Valley area?
We have a drainage committee that was created about 5 years ago, which I was part of it. We have our city engineer, Mr. Albert Dana. He's a chairperson. So we do have a committee that actually will have citizens to request any concerns that the citizens have. They can go and attend to the committee. Also, we're able to attend with our city engineer, Rio Grande Valley drainage committee meetings that we attended to. So, again, we need to have also additional workshops and invite our public, what are their concerns, but I know that we have a lot of work to do on our drainage system. And we need to increase our funding, get matching grants, and okay, sorry, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Garcia. Ms. Lopez.
Yes, we did form a drainage committee that entailed, of course, the citizens of Weslaco, mostly the ones that were impacted the most, the hardest. And those are the ones that would address and bring to our attention their needs and as far as the flooding issues. But we also have a continuing working relationship with the Weslaco ISD as far as using some of their playgrounds as detention ponds, and then also have our own detention ponds within our city parks. I mean, we've got the real estate within our city parks, within our school districts. We need to use all those facilities for the best, for the safety of all the citizens, and make sure that we don't have our citizens lose their homes once again.
Thank you, Ms. Lopez. Staying on the topic of infrastructure and public services and safety, for you, Mr. Garcia, our town's infrastructure is aging. How will you address the backlog of infrastructure maintenance and improvements such as roads, utilities, and public buildings?
Yes, ma'am. Every year, we have a budget session, and every department, especially I was a public works director, I would request so much funding to improve roads, utilities, replace manholes, and so forth. We were allocated so much funding. So my recommendation will be, if elected, we need to increase those amounts of funding so we can make a difference on the roads, on the difference on the infrastructure, a difference on the drainage, the sewer, and so forth. But money has been allocated every year. Urban County monies also right now is being used to replace a water line on Pike. But it is important that we somehow work as a team and increase the amounts so we can make a significant difference. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. Ms. Lopez?
In the last 5 years, we have been addressing these issues as far as a new fire department on the north side and also a new police and fire department here in downtown Weslaco, along with a new municipal court. We have a list of drainage projects that have been completed, and we have some that are pending to be starting on in November and then in December. We have been working on the water and sewer lines. We also have the renovation of our Weslaco Public Library. We have allocated $600,000 to $700,000 a year these last few years for overlay and reconstruction of the streets. Along with our streets, we also need to restripe our roads and implement more lanes where possible. In addition to that, we also need to implement the bike lanes and sidewalks for the safety of our citizens. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lopez. In the category of business support and Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Garcia, what is the role of the City Commission in supporting business growth?
I've been a very 100% supportive of the Weslaco Chamber, EDC. I've been working with them since back in the 80s, and I am very trustful of the Chamber and EDC staff. And I think it starts by the mayor, the commissioners supporting these agencies like the Weslaco Chamber and EDC. I'm willing to attend their meetings with the businesses and see how we can assist them to grow, to promote them. But we need to encourage these businesses to become members of the chamber. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. To you, Ms. Lopez?
We have a great working relationship with our chamber director and also with our EDC. We have a lot of, we are promoting our businesses where there's a lot of economic growth, there's a lot of incentives for the businesses to come in. Not only do we have the 380 agreements, we have the facade grants, and then also the Weslaco 100 grants. So as far as that goes, I think all it is just getting the word out and making more small business owners know what's available to them.
Thank you very much. Staying in this subject area of business support and Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Garcia, what is your stance on local taxes, and how will you ensure a fair and reasonable tax burden for our small business owners?
Yeah, again, it's a very 100% supporter of EDC and the Weslaco Chamber. I would like for them to take the lead on the sales tax. They can make a recommendation to the mayor, the commissioners, as commissioners. We will support their recommendation, but I feel that it's important that, sales tax, sometimes we need to, there are breaks to some of the small, especially small local businesses, but they can be also assisted, like again, with low interest loans and grants and so forth to promote their business. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Lopez?
Well, we actually recently lowered our tax rate as far as the ad valorem tax rate by 1 cent, which may not sound like much, but it is a start, and especially for the small business owner. Because during the pandemic, the EDC also had programs that helped the small businesses during the difficult times that they were all facing. The EDC and the chamber worked together, and they had programs that they were teaching them how to get the small business owners' presence online via social media as to how to create more sales, how to generate their sales, and help during this difficult time.
Thank you. In the category of community engagement, Mr. Garcia, how will you engage with residents and ensure their voices are heard in the decision-making process?
Yes, ma'am. First of all, I learned this from Mayor Jim Brott, when Mayor was Jim Brott back in the 93, 90s, actually, town meetings. He would host town meetings. And I am truly a believer in having town meetings and invite, not yearly or twice a year, quarterly town meetings, and invite our city, not only our constituents from District 2, but constituent citizens from the whole city, and hear their concerns. What are their concerns, any concerns they might have, and also at the same time, to make sure that we follow up on their concerns. Thank you.
Thank you. To you, Ms. Lopez?
Okay, I'm always willing to personally meet with the citizens regarding their concerns, either at City Hall or in their homes, and just have little neighborhood gatherings for whatever they may be worried them as far as their either neighborhood crime or speeding traffic through their neighborhoods. And then another option is to having to speak to us during public comments. Now, thankfully, our mayor changed the public comments from the end of the meeting to the beginning of the meeting, so that would give the citizens more of a voice, that they could actually speak their mind whenever we were going to vote on an item that they felt strongly about. So that's what I feel like that needs to be addressed is through the public comments. I mean, that's important, and also an open line of communications through social media, phones, and personal visits, just like Mr. Garcia said, the old school method.
Thank you very much. Just a few more questions. Y'all are doing great. Technology and innovation. Mr. Garcia, how do you plan to leverage digital technology and the internet to enhance the online presence of local small businesses, especially those that may not have a strong web presence currently?
Again, if elected, I will always very supportive of the Weslaco Chamber, and I will give them all the authority to take the lead on meeting together with the small businesses throughout the city, and invite them, and I'm more than willing to attend the meetings and see how I can also learn and see how we can assist them. But we're here to assist them. Technology, I know it's here to stay. And like I said again, I'm more than welcome to assist in every way I can, or we can. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Garcia. And to you, Ms. Lopez.
Well, anyone that knows me knows that I'm a little techie. So I enjoy all this technology. I just kind of look for the latest gadget whenever it comes in. But I was very proud of our chamber director, Ms. Barbara, that when she was helping our small businesses during the pandemic, again, it's everything about trying to increase their sales, or at least not necessarily increase their sales, but enable them to make a living, continue having the doors open. And that was very important and very impressive of Ms. Garza of implementing that. And she continues to do that, and I enjoy seeing the different Facebook pages coming up on different businesses, different items that are for sale. Here are downtown merchants. And another way that we can do that is by also working with our school district and accounting and putting in more Wi-Fi, so that the Wi-Fi and the internet is accessible to everyone, not just a select few.
Thank you. Mr. Garcia, under the category of tourism and visitor center, what amenities does Weslaco lack in order to attract business, residents, and tourists?
Again, when I was with Parks and Recreation Director, we either had parents that were trying to move into Weslaco, or families that had just moved into Weslaco. And they would ask me, what is it that Weslaco has to offer? In my opinion, we're talking about extracurricular activities. After work, what do we have to offer from, I know we have a golf course, but we need more than just a golf course. We need our swimming pool back, our event center. We need to upgrade our parks And I know what I'm talking about, upgrading the parks, because again, I was a parks director for 22 years. And I know exactly some of the things that we need to upgrade are from playground equipment, bring in our youth sports. They wanted to know, do we have baseball? Do we have soccer? Do we have, so that's what I'm talking about as far as the amenities. So we need more than that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ms. Lopez?
What we are lacking is, most importantly, is a convention center here in the Mid-Valley. We don't have anything that be able to host large conferences. We always have to partner up with someone or, look to the school district, which is a great partnership. But, we're a growing city. We need to keep Weslaco growing, and the convention center is a way to do that. We also need to get larger hotels and that has large conference rooms. Currently, we're in the talking phases with business owners or certain business owners that are looking into helping in building a convention center and bringing more growing businesses into the city of Weslaco, more amenities such as family activities. I remember as a teenager that we'd had a miniature golf course. I mean, we need things for our children so that it will attract more families to the city of Weslaco.
Thank you. And the last question for tonight, in the category of education. What are your ideas for fostering partnerships between the city and higher education institutions in the city, such as UTRGV, STC, and Texas A&M AgriLife Research Extension Center? Mr. Garcia?
Yes, ma'am. In my opinion, all those that the partnership, it benefits our citizens of Weslaco, and we need to continue working with STC, and also the higher education like Kingsville, A&I. But what I would like to see is more interlocal agreements, also that we can work with some of this higher education. But city and school, yes, interlocal agreements where we can utilize their facilities and they can use our facilities. And I know we've done that in the past when I was working for the city of Weslaco. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ms. Lopez?
I am totally in support of working with the UTRGV, STC, and also Texas A&M. We currently have a great working relationship with these institutions. Just outside this door, you can go and see UTRGV, the incubator. I mean, and also the STC. We've got working programs. I mean, we recently were recognized for having a great working relationship with the STC. So as far as that goes, I think we're on the right path, and we just need to continue working together and keeping Weslaco on the grow and being the city on the grow.
Thank you very much, Ms. Lopez. Thank you both for answering the litany of questions. And at this point in time, you'll each have 2 minutes to give your closing remarks. Starting with you, Mr. Garcia.
Yes, ma'am. First of all, I want to thank God for allowing me this good health for working as a public servant for over 40 years. It's back in the 70s all the way to the 20s, 2023, when I just retired this past year. And I want to thank my family for their support. But from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank Weslaco. Weslaco has been the home of my parents, my family, my brothers and sisters' family. So Weslaco has been good for my family. And I want to thank Weslaco, and with the support of the Weslaco citizens, I want to continue serving Weslaco as your next City Commissioner, District 2. Together, we can make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Garcia. And to you, Ms. Lopez, your closing remarks.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us here tonight and supporting us. And then to everyone watching the live stream, thank you. It's been an honor serving as your City Commissioner for District 2 for these last 8 years. And it has been a challenge. As I hate to repeat history, but everyone, I'm sure, knows the challenges that I had to fight as far as fighting the voter fraud and also trying to bring the honesty and integrity back into City Hall. Changes are good, but sometimes they are not. When something is not broken, Why mess with it? Right now, we've got a great working relationship with the mayor, the city commission, our city manager, our directors. We are a well-oiled machine. Let's continue Weslaco. Let's continue moving Weslaco forward, and let's continue the growth. Let's continue in the direction that the city of Weslaco and the citizens of Weslaco deserve, which is moving forward. Let's not move back and into the old school days. We need to do this for the children. The future of Weslaco is at stake here. And it is a high price to pay for our future. But thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to our candidates this evening for being with us, and to all of you for joining us. Just a few closing remarks on behalf of the Weslaco Chamber. Thank you so much for being here to support the candidates and hear from them. It's so important that we're here, we listen, and most importantly, that we go to vote when it's time to do so. I do want to thank Weslaco ISD, the K-West team who is here, who worked this evening to make sure that this forum was available online as well to the community. So again, you can find this the stream of this event on our Facebook page as well as our YouTube page. We do want to thank the K-West team for all of their support. And again, thank you to all of the candidates for their willingness to be here. Just so that you know, running for office is not an easy feat, and we know that, and we thank you for taking time to come and share your platform with us, and we appreciate your time. I'd also like to remind everybody about the voting dates. So for your reference, the Texas law requires eligible voters to register by the 30th day before Election Day. The voter registration deadline for November 7th will be October 10th, 2023. For more information on that, you can visit votetexas.gov. In addition to that, if you're interested in a mail-in ballot, the application deadline for that is October 27th. You can find the ballot online for download at votetexas.gov. Early voting by personal appearance will begin Monday, October 23rd, and ends Friday, November 3rd. And of course, Election Day will be November 7th, 2023. Most importantly, we ask for you to vote. And I do want to mention that we did leave some copies up front of the constitutional amendments that will be on the ballot as well. So while it's important that we're familiarizing ourselves with our candidates, it's also important that you're familiarizing yourself with the constitutional amendments that will also be on that ballot as well. In particular, I'd like to draw your attention to the State of Texas Proposition 14 that references the constitutional amendment providing for the creation of the Centennial Parks Conservation Fund to be used for the creation of improvement of state parks as a community with a state park. We ask that you review that and consider supporting Proposition 14. But in addition to that, we ask for your support to continue to be informed voters. Go out to the polls and vote. The Business Visitor and Event Center right here where you are today is a polling site in this community. So we look forward to seeing all of you. We thank you for your time. Thank you to the staff. And of course, on behalf of our Chamber Board of Directors, we thank you for being here. Have a great evening, everybody, and thank you again to our candidates. Thank you.